All right, so once again, I'm live for second night, 2 nights. Breaking down a lot of information. Um, so it is what it is. A lot of things going on. Um, a lot of things going on. A lot of information. A lot of problems. Um, but it is what it is. Um, it's like 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, and back around. All right. But nevertheless, that's the predicament we find ourselves in right now. A lot of things going on. Questions need to be answered, but don't I want to answer the question? What could really be happening? It's probably way more than you think. But whatever's happening, we need to be prepared and we need to be ready. So that's a fact. That's a big fact. We need to be prepared, ready, and able to do what we have to do. Because this thing is not going to be pretty. What's up?
Yo, what's going on, man?
I don't know. They're going just chilling, man. Getting this information ready. I found something very interesting that we got to pull up on here before we get to all the other stuff. Since everything going on with health and things these days, let's just pull this up out the woodwork here. Been a cyber attack on the hospital, so they say.
Healthcare providers is under siege. A major cyber attack forcing
under Copyright Act, Section 107 Copyright Act of 1976, allowance made fair use purposes such as news reporting, teaching, educating scholars, and research.
Hospital ERs to turn away patients in multiple states. As Miguel Almaguer reports, it's just the latest high-profile company to get hit by hackers.
Tonight, the ongoing cyber attack at Ardent Health Services is forcing roughly a dozen of their hospitals to divert patients away from emergency rooms, impacting critical care in at least 4 states. Ardent, a major national healthcare provider, has now taken its network offline after cyber criminals hijacked their operating systems.
How dangerous can a hack be at a hospital?
Very. It's life-threatening. It's as simple as that. This does put people's lives at risk.
Still scrambling to restore its vital IT operations after the Thanksgiving Day hack, Ardent Health confirms a temporary disruption of operations, adding patient care continues to be delivered safely and effectively, though they cannot confirm the extent of any patient health or financial data that has been compromised.
Now it's sort of like I'm back on the waiting wagon, and that's not good.
In Tulsa, Annie and Eric Wolf say her long-scheduled open heart surgery has been delayed after doctors lost access to her medical records.
I am, however, furious that malicious coders and attackers, hackers, would specifically target a healthcare system and put lives in jeopardy.
With cyber criminals demanding hefty ransoms, extorting nearly $1 billion this year alone by one estimate, a growing number of local governments, universities, school districts, and healthcare providers are becoming targets. But tonight, it's everyday Americans who were so often the victims. Miguel Almaguer, NBC News.
Hey, what's going on? What do you think about that, man?
These people, man. So the thing is, I mean, we talking about like cyber stuff, don't they? I mean, they got some of the, which now in 2023, we got some good cybersecurity. I don't know. It's like, I don't know, man. How does this type of stuff get? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. You never know too, because you could also attack something. You could attack your own system. You know what I'm saying? You could make a virus. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying this happened right there. I'm just saying, man. You just never know, man. But if this is really, really true, this is crazy. That's crazy, man. But my thing is, they don't have if somebody is hacking, right, and doing all this, they don't have nothing. Like, you can't track the hackers. I don't understand. That's what I don't get. Like, you can't track these people. Don't have no address or nothing, like email it. I mean, not some kind of, you know what I'm saying? Internet address to where you could just follow it. I don't know, man. Right?
You're right.
It's weird. There's no paper trail, none of that. I know when you email people, there's a paper trail there, right?
All right, let me.
Recordings.
U.S. health officials are monitoring a mysterious respiratory illness infecting children all throughout China. Now, states like Massachusetts and Ohio are reporting high numbers of similar illnesses in kids, but at this time, health experts say the cases are not linked to what's taking place in China. Fox's Rebecca Castor has more from Washington.
Videos of packed hospitals in China have U.S. health officials on alert. The scene is reminiscent of peak COVID-19 pandemic days. But the World Health Organization, trying to squash fears, says China has not reported any new or unusual pathogens.
I think it's the fact that China had these big lockdowns last year, and now that they're opening up, more bacteria and more viruses are circulating.
We know, of course, winter is when respiratory illnesses rise, but in the U.S., some states are also seeing a rise in sick kids. In Southwest Ohio, hospitals have reported at least 142 cases of a pneumonia called white lung syndrome since August. And in Massachusetts, doctors are warning of a rise in walking pneumonia.
With concerns for pneumonia, we're worried about breathing faster than normal, productive cough, where you're producing the mucus with that cough, trouble breathing.
In a statement, Ohio health officials say there is, quote, zero evidence of this outbreak being connected to other outbreaks, either statewide, nationally, or internationally. And most cases can be treated with antibiotics. Meanwhile, the CDC warns COVID-19 is still their biggest concern.
Even though those are both going up and we're at the peak of RSV, COVID is still the respiratory virus that is putting the most number of folks in the hospital. And
all right, let me stop there right there. That is Mandy Cohen. That's the new person that took over for, I think, either Dr. Collins or Fauci. Her name is Cohen. You already know she's a Creed person. So she's trying to hype up the fear. You see it, right?
I see it.
All right. What's going on, Shaq?
Peace.
Peace.
That is the new CDC director, Mandy Cohen. Matter of fact, yeah, that's her. Yeah, that's her. So, now they coming back trying to get you scared. COVID is coming to get you. Oh, we got white lung syndrome. Children getting sick. Hey, what's going on, Dawson? Now, everybody getting sick again. White lung syndrome. I'm just sitting here just having a ball with this thing. I said, here we go again. Now, there was a big time psyop today. Martin Luther King House, a fan. So let's go to that. This was the day that Martin Luther King, December 8, 1999, when the U.S. government admitted to being guilty to conspiring to kill King. This was the date. So no wonder they had a psyop, and they also released a documentary on Brittany Griner today about her life in Russia and all that other stuff or whatever happened. You know, I ain't wasting my time watching the documentary right now. I tell you that right now. They say Martin Luther King Jr. housebound. Let's take a look at the video. See, that was in.
What are you doing? What are you doing? No, that's gasoline.
Was there some type of direction? Or you just felt like this is what you needed to do? Okay, Cherokee War Chief, what on the earth does that have to do with an MLK? Same mentality, okay? And that's why he's putting you in a position in which you can still breathe.
They're on their way.
But you're
Nobody's trying to hurt you. We just want to make sure the house nothing happens to it. And
are you comfortable, young lady? Looking at this crib. Okay, as long as you can breathe and you're comfortable, we're good.
no, it's the police are on their way. It's fine. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I hear you cooling.
It's fine. The police are on their way.
Okay, so if it's in a low emergency, like there's no emergency vehicles.
Well, it seems like they didn't know the address. Here they come.
Okay, I hear something.
Go and tell the officer to come down to the precinct.
Okay,
Here they come.
Opposite direction.
You doing okay? So me and him were looking at the house, just checking it out. We're not from here. And she came up behind us, had a gas can. And at first she just seemed like she was kind of doing her thing. Like I thought maybe she was watering the plants or something.
To be using the gas can
yeah.
to water the plants.
And then she had trouble getting it open. So eventually she unscrewed the top and threw it to the ground.
Now, let me explain something in here, man. That's funny. Martin Luther King birth home is in Atlanta. I went there before when I was on a field trip. They say she got arrested by 2 NYPD cops. Now, you ain't no goddamn fool, but NYPD cops ain't got nothing. What they got to do in Atlanta, Georgia, man? Come on! Come on.
Dude, I told you, man. I'll be saying it, dude. I'll be right back. Give me.
Huh? Oh, okay. Now I'm just saying, why would 2 NYPD cops in New York, they're going be arresting somebody in Atlanta? How we even know these people cops, man? Come on, man. That's funny, man. I told you they run a rabbit out the head every time. Shaq, what do you think about this, man? It's kind of funny, man. This a new one, ain't it, Shaq? Come on, man. Help me out here, man. It's funny, man. Who pulled this rabbit out the head? Oh, yeah, that's right, Green. It's closed for renovation, too. Come on, man. Boy. Dawson, you think it's kind of funny, too. I know you got to be tripping off this one. I think I read something earlier that she was a Kamala Harris supporter or something. This might have been like a Justice Smollett attempt or something like that. I just trying to find out why they try to get a black woman to try to commit arson on Dr. King house. That's some funny stuff right there. Boy, I don't know what they doing. They messing this up. But yeah, what it is. But I mean, it just ain't making sense, man. I mean, you know. All right, but that's Pretty much it. Shaq, you there? Yeah, that could be.
Well, I ain't told y'all about watching this clout chasing ass shit, man. Y'all keep
Yeah,
falling
some
for
real.
the plastic carrot. Y'all keep falling for the plastic carrot, man. Mm,
Hmm.
yeah. They won't try to respond and respond to this dumb shit.
Hmm.
Some of the stuff we gotta ignore, man, because they want you to respond to it. 2024, man, you gotta boycott all. Talking about all this dumb shit.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought about it as being like kind of just crazy. They actually, went that far with it.
Yeah, it don't make no sense, yo.
I mean, but whatever the case may be, um, something went down, and it need to be called out. Let's put it like that.
Mm.
It really need to be called out. Now, I didn't really get to break this down yesterday too much because I was laying down last night when I was on there with you, and then that's sooner or later, like I said, I've been getting up kind of early. Tomorrow I'll be in and out, but like I said, I mean the weather will be 65 tomorrow. Matter of fact, I ain't tell a lie, Shaq, today, man. I was out today, man. I saw chemtrails going 5 different ways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all in daggone crisscross. But just pointing that
Well, I'll
out.
tell you that one thing that's what we need to be tracking. We need to be tracking where these chemtrails coming from. Who is that's what we need to be having conversations about and debating about. Who is authorized to put chemtrails in the sky, and what is it? What is the real reason? What is the real reason why they're putting chemtrails, or you know,
Get you sick. That's what's going on.
of course.
Oh, this guy Rashawn Green, and just say the chemtrails came. You know what? When I was in Atlanta about a month ago, man, there was a whole lot of chemtrails out there. I can't lie about that. I did see that when I was coming back. You can see them on the highway, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff that was going on down there.
Hold on. Let me go check.
Huh?
So let me get in the chat over there. But but yeah, man, they want to these all these things distractions, man. They want to keep hitting you with, like I told you the cycle, man. They're gonna do this. They're gonna run this cycle all the way to.
He said they got military out there now in I think he's talking about Atlanta. Yep, they got military out there now. The military has been out a lot too. Come think about it. That's it. But
They got
nevertheless,
military out in Atlanta.
yeah, why not?
Mm.
Now, I got to break this down, Frank. Frank, remember I talked to you today. I told you I'm gonna break this whole thing down. I didn't get to break it down last night. What's going on the hill? Claudine Gay, another one. All right, 2024 is coming up. They are slowly working on an anti-Semitism bill. And as a matter of fact, they claim Starbucks even lost $11 billion due to boycotts and protests. Starbucks coffee chain lost $11 billion. That's what they're saying. So, well,
$11 billion from what?
huh?
I said, how did they lose $11 billion?
They claim it got something to do with boycotts in Israel and all that stuff.
What?
Man, I'm trying to tell you. Hey, man, I can tell them what they saying, man. Huh? Look, hold on, man.
I told you numbers don't lie.
Hey,
That was a
they
lie.
also said
And that was a lie.
They also say that people lost over $100 billion in gambling last year too.
Survey says, and that was a lie.
What about gambling?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was kind of suspicious about that too, because it's like, how would they? I mean, how are they counting them? Where do they count? How do you count that? The big ass database or something?
Starbucks, I got it right here, Shaq. Starbucks loses $11 billion in value. Well, they lost $11 billion in their value amid boycotts. Their lukewarm holiday promotion led to a $10.98 billion decline in market value. They say that they have boycotts of Seattle, Washington chain. They've been touching on central geopolitical issues after the company found itself in hot water following a tweet from Starbucks Workers United, the union representing some of the baristas expressing solidarity with the Palestinians. The swift corporate response sparked a series of boycotts with calls to action resonating across social media platforms. So one of their people in their union expressed solidarity with the Palestinians, and that called corporate to say, hey, you got to do something about this. So that's sparking protests. The company's legal actions against the union have intensified the debate, leaving Starbucks to navigate its business operation amid political expression. So, when you can bet on wrestling, all a farce. ESPN is in betting now. That's right, brother. You so right. Because wrestling fake anyway. But nevertheless, let me dot my T and cross my I's for the great. How can I call him? Ambulance chaser. He worked the men crump. But Frank, I done played the video. We got to ask, what are your demands? What do you want? Me, Frank, and Shaq are the three stooges. They about to come arrest us. How much y'all want for them? We don't know them. They not worth $1 million. What do the hostages want? I mean, what do you want for the hostages? Because the hostage is somebody holding for ransom. So, what do you want? Just consider.
One for the hostages. Let me say.
Yeah, if me and you hostages, what they want? $1 million? What? That's what you do when you kidnap somebody, right? You want money, right?
Well, we already know they're gonna cut your brain out, nigga. Sell your brain, nigga.
You know what's funny?
Hey, Frank. Hey, Frank. They gonna have a nigga brain, nigga, on the motherfucking goddamn boy. On a platter, nigga.
On some Indiana Jones type shit. Hey, look. Hey, you know what I just peeped right now? Why? How come they not? Why they not asking for their land back? Why they not? Wouldn't you think they'd be asking for their land back? Why they not asking for? Isn't that weird?
What are you talking about, Frank?
What Palestinian people, Gaza people, whatever the people, they're not asking for no
they
land.
Probably is. Shit, they probably is asking for their land back. The reason why this fight going on.
That's the problem.
The reason why.
That's the problem, Frank. They're going. Wait a minute, Frank. They are asking for it back. Why you think Greenblatt keep talking about you don't want Israel to exist and you keep calling us occupiers because you are occupiers? You lying bastard.
They stole that shit.
Yeah. But see, they don't ever go back and tell you how they got in that land. What's the origin of how they got in that land? See, if people don't ask these questions, Bernard, Frank, and people's listening, right? People will just assume that they always been there, and they're like, well, why they're so angry at them? Because that's all the people's land. It's like we here in America, we've been pushing for people to get off our land, and they need to go back to their homeland. The same people that's over there doing what they're doing, the same people here doing what they're doing, and the same people down there in other parts of where Aboriginals live and sprung from. They want the foreigners to go home. Y'all done siphoned enough out of the wealth of the people, man, off the lands and stuff, man. You know? Take their butts back home.
And guess what? They found a lot of oil and stuff in that Gaza place. That's why they wanted the people to get out. They done found the oil. They done found us oil over there and resource. That's what they want. And they gonna kill anybody.
Yeah, and then they stake their claim. They declare. You remember you used to play that game back in the day?
I declare war. That's what they're doing.
We think these things is fake. Some of that stuff is fake. I mean, it was like folklore. Some of it, but behind the scenes, it was some real.
I used to love playing that game, my aunt Shaq. Me and my aunt used to play that game all the time. I used to play board games. I used to play backgammon, checkers. I declare war. What is it? Spades.
Uno. Spades.
Yeah.
Uno.
A lot of games like that.
Yeah, I played backgammon.
Look, I got so used to playing backgammon. My aunt, sometimes my aunt was like, Bernard, do we have to play backgammon again? Every time I went to her house, I wanted to play backgammon with her, man. That thing was funny, man. We used to love playing some backgammon.
But they was putting their agendas in the game, the board game, man. I keep telling you, Wheel of Fortune.
I got
life. Sorry. I mean, what you got? Wheel of Fortune. You get the life. Monopoly.
That's a good point, Rashawn Green. They are working with the Saudis. That's right. The Saudi prince said he's not scared of fossil fuel because the U.S. working with Saudi Arabia.
Checkers, Connect Four,
and chess. Checkers and chess. It's chess, not checkers, baby.
Okay, what was the one with the little? You was working on the little man. Remember?
Look at man. I had Twister. I had a game called Twister. Even that's way off.
There you go, Twister. Did they have a game called Sorry or something?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
They had a song with Ruben Studdard called Sorry for 2014.
And they want us to keep up. Look, they want cats to keep apologizing. What are we apologizing for, though? That's my thing. You know what I'm saying? Or what they want, they're trying to think that we should apologize for. And see, it makes sense because you got these stage pastors, preachers, and politicians and shit that would do some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, Nick Cannon was on an apology tour. Who else? Kyrie Irving, right? They got these motherfuckers doing that shit. So it makes us look dark. You know what I'm saying? They represent us and shit, which they don't. And they try
to be honest, Frank.
What happened?
Not to cut you. I'm gonna be honest. And I'm the king of conspiracies, right? Conspiracies. A lot of these cats, man, are from there. The reason why a lot of them cats are in those positions and get in those positions and get in and get out of those positions is because of their bloodline. Some of the people are from bloodlines that's connected to some of this stuff. Let's be honest. We think that stuff is no. Look at them. You gotta look at their last name, Joe. Cannon. Irving. Those last names ain't just regular last names. We think they are, but I guarantee you, if you track their genealogy, it's going to go back to some type of form of, I wouldn't say maybe, I don't say royalty. Could be royalty, could not be. Their ancestors was something, and it was probably doing business with these people for years. The reason why when these people get in positions, they become celebrities. That's a form of hiding a secret relationship. You know what I'm saying? That their ancestors have been in cahoots with these people, man.
You know what that is? It's like Drake.
And it's being ran on us.
Like Drake. Drake, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Who else? There's a couple. I think even Lenny Kravitz too, man. Lenny Kravitz, he got some Jewish, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these dudes, man, in this industry, man, they got, Jewish ties, man, And a lot of it too, man. I'll send y'all a video later on Industry Hoax. He broke it down. Nepotism in hip hop and just the music industry is big, man. You know what I'm saying? Why you gotta look at it like this? Why, why not pass it down? Why not pass your fame and fortune down to your family member? You feel me? You know what I mean? Why find somebody or why give somebody a shot when you could just, keep inheriting the money and keep it in the family?
That's
Like
what Nas and Jay-Z doing.
Right. Well, no, that's just a song. But look, you see what I'm saying? And keep it in the family, like the Rothschilds did. But see, they was actually having sex with each other or having kids with each other. You see what I'm saying? So I mean,
they
that's
changed their name, right? You got to remember, they wasn't the Rothschild before. They was James, Jesse James. They see, they made me remember. They was train robbers. See, those were thieves. They were initially their ancestors were train robbers. They was robbing the trains. So who trains were they robbing, sir? Who trains were they robbing, sir? They was robbing our ancestor trains, man. Stealing wealth. They always been thieves.
And you notice how they
want to lie and say we didn't have no wealth. And I think we had train systems and shit. Been had train systems here, man.
That's true.
Wealth. Shit.
Well,
they've been coming running, bum rushing our land for years. Coming back trying to pillage.
You know what's weird? You know what's weird? Yeah. Just like that Montgomery, that bus boycott.
Yeah.
They talk about the bus boycott, but at the same time, shit, there's parts of North Carolina and other parts of the country where we own our own buses.
The
bus companies.
Salem. Like, did I send you that link? Salem,
North Carolina. Yeah, that's what Claude Anderson was talking about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, when I was going back to that nepotism thing, that's that keeping this, that's gonna keep that in the family, and people like Drake, so people like him and people like that, these music people in the industry, they have ties. You know what I'm saying? They pops with somebody there. Look at Jim Morrison. His family member was a colonel in the Navy. Was it James Morrison? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you, a lot of these people, man, they're not just getting a big break and they just get lucky, just like a lot of these basketball players. A lot of these basketball players, you know what I'm saying? They either have people in the industry or they have famous fathers or mothers or something like that play sports themselves. Y'all don't notice that?
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Keep it in the fam. You know what I mean? But I'm just, the thing is with all this, man, it's just like I'm just not surprised, man. I just don't trust the industry, man. I don't trust the media, because the media is another branch of government anyway. You see what I'm saying? So, I'm not trusting a lot of this stuff, man. But yeah, man, this shit is crazy, man. But they could lie and lie on us, man. So yeah, Kanye was right, man.
Now let me bring this up. I know it gonna be some tongue wrestling in here, but what do you want? I want Frank Bernard to be there. Frank Bernard and Shaq out of jail. Help us out. Well, we are actually in a jail cell. When they try to shut you up and put you in YouTube jail or whatever. But nevertheless, let the clown show begin. I got to break down stuff into the speed later. I'm breaking it down tonight.
Joining us now here in studio, Ronan and Orna Nutra. Their 22-year-old son, Omer, was taken hostages by Hamas on October 7th. Omer, the grandson of Holocaust survivors, was serving as a tank commander in southern Israel when Hamas attacked. Also with us for the conversation, CEO of the Anti-Defamation League, Jonathan Greenblatt. Mr. and Mrs. Nutra, thank you for being here this morning. Have you heard anything about the status, the whereabouts of your son since October 7th?
No, unfortunately, since the attack and some videos that surfaced right after showing that Omer and his teammates were taken in relatively good condition. We haven't heard anything. We don't know his medical condition. We don't know his whereabouts. We haven't heard anything for 62 days.
And Orna, we should underline, you all are American. You live in New York.
Yeah.
Your son was raised out on Long Island,
That's
moved
true.
to Israel after high school.
Yeah.
Hold
Was
on,
a star
stop that.
athlete, it
First of
sounds
all,
like, in high
you're
school.
not
like a
American.
classic
You are
American.
United States citizens, dog. You're not Americans. Stop the bullshit. You are citizens of the United States of America. See,
Wait a
see how
minute.
they
They
play
say they
games?
got
Oh,
dual
we're
citizenship. They dual citizens. They dual
Yeah, they are,
citizens, man.
man. They are U.S. citizens. U.S. United States of America citizens. They're not Americans. We are the original Americans, dog. See, they like to play these word games. We got you saying you African in America, but they saying they American. See how the role reversal? See what I'm saying? Watch the
Hey,
language.
look. Why they always gotta put something first? Why is African before American? You see, we
I
don't be.
think we getting played, and we keep playing ourselves by
It
doing
is
it.
really American. That's
Then
what
why
they,
they didn't say Israeli American? They said they're American.
That's true.
they say they got
There's only
dual
be one
citizenship.
American. They are citizens. They are citizens of the country of America. I don't know if they was born here. They have native citizenship. They haven't been naturalized. They people have been naturalized to come here to this land. See, everywhere they go, you know what I'm saying? They want to take people land, man. Resources. It's all about resources. It's a benefit living in America. Any part of this continent, it's a benefit. Definitely in North America. don't get it twisted. They are calling themselves American, and you got Negroes calling themselves African American. See what I'm saying? But you ain't got no dual citizenship nowhere around the world.
Well,
Why
let me let the clown run himself up a snag.
All right.
American kid.
Yes.
Tell us more about your son.
So, Omar was born 1 month after 9/11. I worked
What a
in the
coincidence.
city on that day. I was very pregnant,
Well,
and
how
I
about
clearly
9/11?
remember walking on the Queensboro Bridge by foot because there was no transportation to get out of here, not believing that this is happening on U.S. soil, right? So it's just insane to me to think that this is what we're going through now again. I just can't believe this. He was born here. He grew up on Long Island, part of the community, very loved sports, all kinds of sports, participated in sports, fantasy leagues, all of it. Very involved in his youth group. Following, the track of American typical kids. He got accepted into Binghamton. And then, he's also a dual citizen. We're both dual citizens, so we have a big family in Israel.
There you go. There you go.
I told you.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, man. I told man.
Proof is in the pudding, baby. There you go.
We was
All
talking about
right. I told you. They said I
you can't make it up. Well, no, they are making it up. My bad. But see, look, let me say something real quick before you. He just happened to be a survivor of
wanted to
he
take
just
a
happened
year
to be
before
born
he-
around 9/11, right? And he just happened to be the grandson of a Holocaust survivor. You see how they do us?
They got you
They
again,
put
Frank. Hey.
Hey, they pour the gravy on thick, don't they, boy? Woo, that biscuit be.
They know we don't be thinking and shit.
thick
They know
gravy.
we don't. Because they know you're gonna feel emotions and sympathy.
There you go.
All right. Let the clowns keep rigging themselves. I tell you, you're gonna learn a lot on this day. They're gonna talk about the hostages. Now wait a minute now, Frank. Wait a minute, man. They said they were in good condition for and they've been gone for 62 days. Come on, man.
Oh, yo. But okay, so check this out. How long? Okay, let's break this down. How long has this war been going on for? Has it been even going on for 62 days? I don't think it has. Dude, 62 days? Like what? 3 months? No. That's 2 months and like 2 days.
They said, wait a minute, man. Wait a
When
minute.
did this war start?
Because they say it started on October 7th. And actually, that's wrong. That's actually wrong, though, because that's the day when they say the attack happened. The war couldn't have started on the same day. Well, I don't know.
The war been going on, man. Just in 2021, remember the dude had the election? It was going on over there then.
Yeah. You're right.
People be lying. They have these little outbursts every so often that make it to the mainstream media, and who is always controlling the narrative though?
Them. But see the Jews. I mean the Creed people. Sorry about the damn. I shouldn't have said that. Shit, my bad. The Creed people. You know what I'm saying? The Creed greed people. You know what I mean? They control the media though. So that whatever you know what I'm saying what projects out there. You know what I mean? They control it.
Oh, I met this dude that run TikTok.
He actually runs TikTok.
Man, he's Arabian.
There you go. And then you got these. See, you got these all types of people coming here, dude. You know, and they propped up. But see, my thing is, some of these people they did their country. These America or so-called or these white people from here. They did they did them dirty. You know, they just like in Vietnam where they experimented on with all that Agent Orange and all that biological warfare. So, you know, they figure, you know, they're going to give them citizenship and come over here. See, that's the thing. You mess up you go take their resources from their homeland and you come over here and you give them citizenship to live better than Americans that are from here. I'd be tripping off that. You know, you give these dudes businesses, you give them grants and loans for businesses, but they tell you to go to college and work till you're 60-some years old. You see how that works?
Yep. I want you, if y'all hear any more discrepancies, let's keep it going. I want to hear some more discrepancies because there's going to be a whole bunch of bullshit. Then, you know, Greenblatt going to speak about it, but let them keep hanging themselves.
Went to college and get to know the family, learn about the people. So he went on an educational program, and that's what he did. He really got close to different communities. They volunteered, they studied together, and he got very close to his Israeli peer group, and they have to serve, right? It's part of, unfortunately, the reality in Israel. And he felt that he had to do his share.
So he volunteered and became a lone soldier. It was difficult for us being away, but he was committed to defend the Jewish country and do his share.
And the last time you talked to him was the night before the attack, right?
Yeah, we spoke to him the night before. He seemed fairly relaxed. You know, for some reason, they were under the impression that it was going to be a calm weekend, which, of course, did not happen, as we all know.
Jonathan, here's like an all-American kid from Long Island. He's going to go to school in Binghamton. Knicks fan. I mean, anybody watching out on Long Island, this is your son.
Yeah.
Right? This is your daughter. This is your child. Very interesting. Hamas wants to promote a lot of things. Wants to scare the hell out of a lot of people. The one thing Hamas doesn't really want to get out there is there are still 8 United States citizens held in captivity. Let me say that again for people that are on college campuses talking about the glories of Hamas and talking about from the river to the sea. There are 8 Americans that are still being held in captivity. And I've just got to say, if I'm in the administration,
yeah, we held in captivity right now.
I'm letting Qatar know, our allies in Qatar know, we're watching. We're watching. You fund these people? Let me tell you something. You need to get those 8 Americans home. You need to get them home safely, because this is not about Israel and Hamas. This is about the United States of America and Qatar. Get them home. Because, again, Hamas doesn't want it out there. 8 Americans. 100%. They're holding our people.
Hamas murdered Americans on that day. They raped, they tortured, and they mutilated Americans. Hamas has kidnapped and sexually brutalized Americans. There is a straight line from 9/11 to October 7, and we shouldn't forget it. This isn't just Israel's fight. This is all of our fight. Omer is your son, and he's my son too, because I'm the father of 3 boys, And you better believe I would move heaven on earth to get them home. And yet, like you said, Dro, these feckless college students and the administrators. So yesterday at Columbia University, there was a teach-in at the School of Social Work on the, quote, counteroffensive on October the 7th. The only thing offensive about that is what they called the worst massacre of Jews since the Holocaust. Now, the administration canceled it. The students still did it. So, like, here's my question. Why have no students been suspended? How do these college presidents go to Washington and can't answer a simple question about a call to genocide? How have none of them been fired? I don't understand how this is allowed when, again, these were Jews who were murdered because they were Jews. These were, and by the way, not just Jews. Israeli Arabs were murdered and kidnapped on that day. Christians were kidnapped and murdered on that day. Americans and British and French. Hamas isn't just Israel's enemy. It's not just America's enemy. It's all of our enemy. Period. End of story.
What would you like our leaders on both sides of Pennsylvania Avenue?
All right, hold on. I gotta stop it right there. Hold it, hold it, hold it. He just said that's all our enemy. I don't know what a Hamas person looks like. What the hell are you talking about?
Dude, there's only three leaders though. There's only 3 leaders though. They only got 24 battalions, dude. Come on, that's not even, man, bro, motherfucker. I bet you. Look. I bet you look. I bet you the Vietnamese army got more motherfucking people than that. I told you, man. Look, that's not nothing, bro. That's small numbers. That's not a military, bro. That's not even an army. I be telling people, man. Look. He talking about. Look, he talking about. What do you say? This is the worst since the Holocaust. Dude, I thought millions of people were killed in the Holocaust, man. See, come on, man. I told you, bro. Was it millions of people or was it only 2,000 people? Like this?
6 million. 6 million.
That's what they
So,
said.
I didn't know Hamas had that much fucking clout to kill.
Let me go in here, right, Frank? Even with that so-called, even with the Holocaust in Germany, right? I'm gonna show you the melanated victims in that situation. Just like they ain't showing no melanated victims in this situation. They showing all cracker-lackers, crackerjacks. What the melanated families in? They over there too. They got caught up in it.
Hey,
Hasty now.
wait a minute, time out, man. Hold on, man. Hey, look, man. I know it's some brown-skinned Arabs over there, Shaq. Where they at?
On both sides, on the Israeli side and on the Palestinian side. So why I don't see none of their families on TV being represented? Where their families at, dog?
And then he tried to say some Arabs. Then he tried to say some Christians. Oh shit! So you it damn near every religion. I'm surprised he didn't say Mormon. I'm surprised he didn't say Mormon. Bro. Hey, okay. I'm keeping 100 with you. As a grown adult person, like if you can't distinguish, you know what I'm saying, and see the fact that just break this down that this is some bullshit, then it's like, oh, man, bro, it's a lot that you need to learn about the world, man. It's all deception. They're deceiving you, and they're giving us key words and phrases and shit like that, and fake incidences. Why they got the little town hall meeting? It's a little town hall meeting just about why is there only 2 people? Why is it not all the families? The 8. If it's only 8 people, why are not all 8 families there? Ooh. Because these 2 people are crisis actors. Ooh. Make sense?
Well, yeah, because they flip it in and out. First they say you United States citizens. Then they say they was American. Then they say, well, they're they dual citizens. Then they say he was a all American. What? Then they say the Jewish. Then they say Jewish. See, it's the Rainbow Coalition now. At its best. Ring around the rosy.
Let me let the clown keep going. He really digging a grave with me today.
College presidents, students, people that are in the middle of this debate, what would you like them to know about your boy?
All right. First of all, it's all about severe ignorance in this country. People don't know the facts. They watch a 30 seconds TikTok video and they think they know the history of the Middle East.
Please run it down to me.
Right. Study,
Please run it down to me.
dig in, and figure out what's going on. And like you said, I don't know how many people realize there's still 130 hostages down there, a lot of them in dire medical conditions. We're really, really afraid of people dying as we speak. There are 8 American hostages that we urge the administration to bring back. We urge the administration to put pressure on Israel to negotiate.
137 hostages remain, 117 men, 20 women, 2 children under the age of 18, 10 over the age of 75. Then they got these numbers.
Now, how the hell they know these numbers? How they know these are down to the numbers? Come on, man.
Yo, you heard us? You heard this shit? Yo, Bo, look, hey, check this out. Look. Okay, the 8 Americans, how did they know they were American, bro? What are they doing? Are they telling everybody to fucking to say their nationality, bro? Are they saying it? You know what I'm saying? How they even know? Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, bro. It's just too much.
Hey, come on, man. You don't believe this dumb shit. Hey, look. Let them keep hanging this up, man. It's funny, man. I'm just showing you.
Anytime there's a conflict in the Middle East or something like that, they're always saying that there's American hostages, bro. Always. It's the same shit.
How they throw in 2 children under the age of 18? Dang, what?
So, okay,
look,
so there's...
Now, wait a minute, Frank. Hold on, Frank. Hold on. Let me say something. 2 of them under the age of 18 and 10 over the age of 75. So they made sure that they cover all the bases. You gonna feel bad for the elderly, and you gonna feel bad for the children. See what I'm talking about?
And so won't they give us the history of the Middle East? Oh, we don't know. Give us the history. Because it sounds like y'all created history, just like y'all came over here and tried to create a history. Everywhere they go, they try to create a history and tell themselves it's somebody else's land.
He told you stop getting your information on TikTok. No, I'm joking. I don't give a damn where you get it from. Just get the damn information. But let me let it go. Let me keep going.
Negotiate and make a deal and bring all the 130 hostages back.
What do you
it's
want?
Time. It's 62 days. People are dying. There's no time there.
Orna, you both went to
Hold on. They know the United States
Are
of
you
America
confident you can
does
never
not
be satisfied, of course, in this circumstance, but are you confident that the administration is doing
They do know that's a policy, right?
everything it can to get your son and the other hostages home?
The nigga said make the deal.
We've been assured that they are, but we're not seeing results, and results are what counts. It's 62 days in. We don't have any sign of life.
That's why I knew that Brittany Griner was
we met with the ICRC. They're helpless.
Coming to her too.
We need our son back.
How come there was an agreement that the Red Cross can get in and figure out their medical conditions and give us proof of life? And that didn't happen. Hamas blocked them in. We got to have the Red Cross in. We got to get sign of life, and we got to bring the hostages home. Period.
And
It's
we're
time.
here to talk about it, right? That's why we're doing this, right? There's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of lack of knowledge. Some things are starting to come out about October 7th. There's some world interest finally. And we have to remember that our son, 8 American hostages, more, some were released already, 138 still held captive by Hamas underground somewhere.
Is it loud enough?
October 7th.
Long
We're
enough.
still there.
Do people realize this? That the
same numbers
International
over and
Red
over,
Cross
same
has not
verb.
been
They ain't
allowed
telling you
in?
nothing.
Like, do
They really
people,
give you no
these
details, for
human
real.
rights activists, look, I deplore the violence in Gaza, and my heart breaks for every civilian who gets killed. But, like, where is Human Rights Watch? Where is IRC? And where the hell is the International Red Cross? They should be on television every day saying, if we want a ceasefire, and the first thing that needs to happen to enable a ceasefire is for the hostages to come home. I don't understand why people don't get this basic fact. Hostages come home, and this can end. Hostages stay under Gaza, and this will go on and on and on. It just reminds us, Joe, Hamas doesn't fight for the Palestinians. Hamas, they only fight for themselves. They don't want a Palestinian state. They want to simply destroy the Jewish one. That's their goal.
Well, and again, as we've said from the very beginning, for them, a Palestinian death is a greater win
100%
than a Jewish death, because a Palestinian death allows them, again, to hammer away at Israel and Israel's right to exist. And it's really, again, I think I just couldn't agree more that so many people see a 30-second TikTok and they think they understand everything that's happened in this conflict going back to 1948, when they understand nothing. You talk to them, and you've seen some of the reporting. They understand nothing. They don't know that the Palestinians were offered 50% of the land after the British left. They don't know that in 2000, Bill Clinton put together such an extraordinary deal, gave Yasser Arafat everything he asked for. Everything he asked for. 97% of the West Bank, Israeli land to compensate for the 3%, all of Gaza, a capital in East Jerusalem. And Arafat was going to say yes, and at the last second said no. Why? Because he knew the second after he did it, he'd be killed by Hamas. The same thing happened in 2008. This keeps happening. And idiots watch a 30-second clip on TikTok and go out making chants that they have no idea that they're making, and no idea that they're actually working against the freedom and the release of young Americans still being held underground in Gaza.
More importantly, that the occupation that they chant about ended almost 20 years ago.
2005.
Of Gaza.
Yeah.
His name is Omer. He's 22 years old, and he and the rest of the hostages need to come home. Ronan Orna-Nutra, thank you so much for telling your story and for being here this morning.
Thank
you very much.
Let me say something real quick now. Let me say something real quick. Okay, let me say something. Look. If these motherfuckers are so bad, and if there's such big monsters like they say they are, why did they release any hostages? Why didn't they kill any of these hostages? You see, come on, bro. We don't be thinking, dude. Why didn't they kill any of them yet? Then see, we don't. They're animals or this.
They said they were in severe medical condition. They ain't say nobody died.
Dude, all these motherfuckers are still alive. What are you talking about, bro? And then that's the thing too. You see what I'm saying? Why did they release? They released so-called like over 50 of them already. See, we let them go with the narrative that these are the boogeyman, these are the monsters. You see what I'm saying? We're not gonna look and actually think and do the research. Like, damn, wait up, that shit don't even make no sense what they just said. We're not gonna, break the real truth down. You see what I'm saying? The sympathy and empathy, because like I said, they got it desensitized. You know what I'm saying? We sympathy and empathy, right? We sympathy and empathy when it comes down to us. I mean, everybody else, but when it comes, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to us, we're desensitized. So we want everybody else. We have to feel sorry for everybody else and not our own self. Just like, what's the name? For example, Ukraine. Homeless motherfuckers shit. What they do with Karen Bass? Karen Bass supposed to be. Oh, you gonna talk about Karen Bass right now? Huh? Look, she's a piece of shit. She's a motherfucking piece. She got millions of dollars allocated, right? Look, BJ, millions of dollars allocated for the motherfucking homeless people in LA. Only 220 something homeless people were housed, bro. You know how much money they profit, man. So that's how they make.
I know, especially in the African American population, that menthol cigarettes are promoted, pushed everywhere. A ban would help improve the health outcomes for the African American population. I would tell other leaders, do not be confused by the industry. The industry has never had our interest at heart. If you look at the disproportionate rates of cancer and heart disease, and you have the tobacco industry coming and saying, oh, we better keep menthol out there or it's going to increase mass incarceration. I mean, that really is laughable and very insulting.
We as an NAACP are very clear that there is no connection between menthol and cigarettes and over-policing. The tobacco industry tactic to connect a ban on menthol with over-policing is not only disingenuous, it's infuriating. That is not what over-policing is about. And so that type of manipulation is truly a scare tactic.
Somehow the tobacco industry is trying to play Jedi mind tricks on folks and take the illogical and try to make it seem logical. That somehow getting rid of flavored cigarettes or menthol is somehow discriminatory to African Americans. No, you are discriminating against Black people by targeting this particular community in this way.
So if you're committed to racial equity, ban menthol.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
I don't
Today
know
we have
what's
some
going on.
very important voices to respond to the delay in the menthol cigarette roll. We'll have plenty of time for questions.
All right, they're trying to ban menthol cigarettes, right? But you got other people saying that daggone it's racist to ban menthol cigarettes because that's the cigarettes that most Black people use or something like that. So you got a two-pronged thing going on here. The ACLU or the ACLU, whatever you call it. They trying to say that it could be disproportionately discriminatory because that's the cigarette that we use a lot. I'm like, look here, man. This ain't got nothing to do with that. The menthol has a receptor in it that what is it? The virus can't connect to the receptor or something. Remember Felicia played the video a couple years ago about it. That's why they're really trying to ban the menthol. You know. But that's another thing here, there. But that's how they're trying to handle this thing with the menthol cigarettes and stuff. So you just gotta pay attention, man. A lot of things are going on. All right. I mean, I just want to bring that up to you. So they say that menthol cigarettes will be banned in 2024. But then again, I look at that as another side too, because they want you to keep buying that medical marijuana too. Or whatever marijuana
they say they're gonna ban menthol cigarettes. Who is they? Who is this they?
The
proposed
FDA.
The ACLU? Who the FDA? You said who the FDA?
Yeah, the FDA said they can ban it.
They talking about banning menthol cigarettes, but they ain't talking about banning all the toxic chemicals that they be pumping in these cans and these preservatives. Pig fat, the gelatin that they put in everything.
iPhone 15 Pro, your husband is.
The bio, the natural flavor, which is
Frank.
pig fat.
Frank. They got a third victim in the UNLV shooting identified as a 69-year-old. Boy. All right.
Carolers, to tell me you want a new iPhone, a better plan is Verizon.
For a limited time, turn any iPhone in any condition into a new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium and iPad and Apple Watch SE all on us. Only on Verizon.
The Gun Violence Archive has now tracked 632 mass shootings so far this year in the United States. That's significantly more mass shootings than there have been days so far this year. ABC News Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas joins me now. Pierre, I do want to get your thoughts. We just got an update from authorities in Las Vegas on this shooting at UNLV. What do you make of the suspect's motive and what we saw play out there?
Now wait a minute, Frank. They just told you that it's 632 mass shooting this year. Who the hell is counting these damn numbers, man? Come on, man. I just say, hey, man, they say you got more mass shooting than days of the year. Come on, man. Hey, Frank, they make sure they call it a mass shooting. You heard that now, a mass shooting.
The fake ones is the fake ones is called mass shootings. The real shootings are not called mass shootings. I'm telling y'all, man. I'm telling y'all because that makes sense. Don't that make sense? Because the ones in the hood they don't call mass shootings and those be real. The ones that they do call mass shootings don't be real. It's just like don't that make sense? It's like, and see the thing is, how come they didn't call mass shootings in the 80s? Oh wait, why is this some new? What is this, a new 2000 thing? When they come up with this word mass shooting? You see how we do? I just think we,
that's the white man.
We got
they cut around. You know what I mean?
We got a lot of
categorize that shit.
Well, of course, you know what I'm saying. That's the whole thing.
Let them keep talking. Let them keep talking now. I want you to hear this now, Frank. You get a trade because they talk about UNLV. Don't forget tomorrow night, UNLV has not been closed down. Okay, don't forget that. So, UNLV tomorrow in Las Vegas, they're gonna have the NBA in-season tournament cup, and the Lakers and Pacers are playing. I told you last night. I have to tell you to watch the game. I know they want the Lakers playing because that's a big draw. And that's Vegas. That's right there. You can bring LA fans there. So just pay attention.
Well, we're still, gathering information, but it's clear that it may be tied, and I emphasize the word may be tied to the fact that this man has met at universities in Nevada and specifically UNLV. So authorities now can breathe a little easier, at least in Washington. It is not necessarily tied to any kind of massive terrorism plot or anything like that. But for those who lost their lives and who were injured, it's just as devastating. It's not a federal case in the sense of something that the FBI will have to take the lead on, but clearly an example of the tragic gun violence that we see play out time and time again at every sector of American society. You can say shopping centers, you can say houses of worship, you can say movie theaters. It's happened everywhere.
Well, and I want to broaden our conversation out here because you spent years reporting on gun violence and those innocent victims. You recently interviewed a 13-year-old girl, Alea, who was caught in the crossfire. This was for your special One Girl, One Bullet. You also spoke to her doctors. Let's take a listen to some of that piece.
Her heart stopped once en route, and they were able to perform CPR, give her medication, restarted it. When she got to the Atrium Cabarrus facility in the emergency department, her heart stopped again, and they had to perform emergency surgery on her chest to open it up.
What do you want to be able to do freely, without crutches?
Walk. That's what I've been wanting to do for the longest.
So she just wants to walk. Pierre, what did you discover in telling Alea's story?
Well, a number of things about that story stood out to me. Number one, children being killed by gunfire is the leading cause of death of young people in this country. That's a recent phenomenon. And despite the fact that gun violence has actually gone down a bit in the last 2 years, it's stubborn in regards to young people. And in fact, more young people are being shot and killed than was at the time of the Newtown massacre in Connecticut when all those little children were killed at the elementary school. So this is an ongoing chronic plague that the country has. And even when it gets a little bit better, it's still horrible. And in telling that story, I think the main thing that came across to me is at home that when someone gets shot, it's not like something in the movies, that the people face weeks, if not months, if not years of rehabilitation in many cases. In this particular case, she was home in the middle of the night in her own bedroom with her twin sister, and shots rang out. 30 bullets pierced the apartment that she lived in, and one hit her in the stomach, and there it remains. And to hear how this young lady had to struggle to survive, and how the bullet damaged her intestines, her colon, the artery that controls blood flow to her legs, and that even now she's still rehabbing and trying to get her life back to some semblance of normalcy, was really the point of that story.
It was such an excellent piece, Pierre, and I hope our viewers can all watch it. It's on Hulu from Nightline, and online on YouTube you can see it too. You know, the White House, I'm curious about your path forward here, Pierre, because we hear the White House again today calling for common sense gun reform. It's a call we hear time and time again after a mass shooting or after an attack like the one you talk about where there are those innocent victims. What do you see as any possible measure that could be common sense to help get to the root of this problem?
Well, I had a conversation with Congressman Maxwell Frost, who is the youngest member of Congress. And I think he perhaps summed it up very well when he said that, he's optimistic in the sense that there's an Office of Gun Violence Prevention in the White House, which is better coordinating federal efforts. But he said it's like watching paint dry, basically, in terms of meaningful gun control legislation being passed. We had modest gun control legislation passed shortly after the Uvalde massacre of all those children. But the issue of whether there should be universal background checks, a broader expansion of so-called red flag laws, things that have pretty broad support within the American public, still remain in a state of limbo. To George Stephanopoulos on Sunday, at the end of the piece, I said, George, I can guarantee you in a few days we'll have word of another mass shooting, and then we have Las Vegas and what just happened in Texas as well.
Here we are. Pierre Thomas, thank you so much for your reporting and deep expertise on this.
Pleasure.
Let's bring the big story to our panel. Joining us today is ABC News contributor and Sirius XM radio host Mike Muse, ABC News contributor and former Republican Virginia Congresswoman Barbara Comstock, Democratic strategist and co-founder of Lift Our Voices, Julie Roginski, and ABC News contributor and op-ed columnist for the Los Angeles Times, Elsie Granderson. Thank you all for being here. Elsie, I'm going to start with you because you have said that one problem, to piggyback back off what Pierre was just saying with solving the gun violence epidemic, is that we dump many of these solutions at once into one bucket. What do you mean by that?
Well, unfortunately, I've been covering mass shootings, very much like Pierre for a long time as a journalist. And what's occurred to me throughout my years of coverage is that you hear a lot of platitudes in terms of solutions being said by elected officials, like common sense gun laws. You ask a very smart follow-up question, which is, what is an example of that, right? Like, how do we begin to construct solutions beyond just the platitudes? So I would suggest that what the American people want, because clearly elected officials aren't interested in that they look at what other elected officials want. And it seems to me that when it comes to the conversation of mass shootings, instead of looping in, let's hone in on one particular form of violence and what it is attached to. Whether it's mass shooting, let's focus in on one, regardless of the other shootings that get into the headlines. Let's solve one particular kind of shooting before trying to move on to the next, as opposed to finding one bullet to solve all the problems, because that's not effective.
Well, Barbara, what do you make of that? Because we so often hear from the people who are making change in policy, from Republican lawmakers, thoughts and prayers, but very little push for action. Are there any areas, to get into those specifics, that there could be bipartisan support for?
Yeah, we did have the bill last year, but I think red flag laws are still something that you have in Republican states like Florida and Indiana and other Republican states that there is broad support for. I think there's some room for background checks. I'd like to see some kind of, presidential commission where you do bring, some very conservative Republicans and Democrats together and look at what has been done in these states, and then look at particular cases, of these shootings where what particular thing would have prevented this, these people from getting guns. Because I think there are particular things in a lot of these cases where you can go back and say, okay, let's change that law, and there would be more agreement. But what we're doing isn't working, so we've got to come together and do more.
Julie, weigh in on that. And I'm struck also, as we're talking about the shooting at UNLV, this is not the first time we've seen horror in Las Vegas. There was the Mandalay Bay Resort shooting that left 58 people dead back in 2017. What do you think when it comes to any sort of solution so that we don't witness these horrors time and time again?
This isn't rocket science. We don't have more mental health issues in this country than other developed countries do. We don't have more people playing video games than people do in Western Europe, for example, but we are the only country where this kind of thing happens. And as Pierre mentioned, not just every day, but several times a day, these mass shootings that happen. And it is because of our policies. Let's be very clear. Republican states that have lax gun laws have higher rate policy to prevent that kind of thing. So again, we could sit here and talk about what kinds of laws, what can we do, but the truth of the matter is we already know the answer. We just have to enforce these laws and create new laws and make it stronger.
action on that. How much do you think these day-to-day shootings are weighing on Americans? You know, do you think that this is something that people think about when they're going to concerts, when they're going to school? And what can the person at home feel like they can do about it?
That's a really great question. When Americans are going about their day-to-day activities, I don't necessarily think that gun violence is on the top of their mind as much as it is that there is possible threats that are out there. But I do think, Elizabeth, though, that those students who are in high school, middle school, and college, I do believe this is now a part of their conscious. I was with a family friend recently, and I was with the daughter, and they were talking to me about mass shooting drills that they do here in Manhattan. And I was triggered by that. So I think it's a part of the consciousness of our children more so than it is in adults. And I was thinking about this morning and looking at the data over 627 mass shootings. And I'm wondering if we've been looking at this wrong from a language perspective. Instead of using the word comprehensive gun reform, if we should just piecemeal it one small initiative at a time, because a narrative is out there of this idea that people are wanting to take away your guns. And so that is so embedded into the American psyche for individuals who are pro-guns and pro-Second Rights Amendment. I don't think that's going to change. But if we change the language to make it piecemeal and more incremental, over time, once individuals recognize that no one has knocked on their door yet, no one has come to remove your guns, then we can begin to subconsciously change.
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, for one, look, check this out. Let's check this out. So for one, they just said he kind of just told on himself by saying that these kids be practicing these mass shooter drills. Since when did these mass shooter drills start happening? And before, wasn't they called active shooter drills? And for two, you see what I'm saying? I said something about the Las Vegas shooting the other day. He brought it up. You see what I'm saying? And then this is just. They kind of telling on themselves, man. It's kind of scripted, like, you know what I mean. And then, for him to bring up Las Vegas shooting the other day, and then they're talking about mass shooter drills is kind of like suspect. And you know what I'm saying? But see, and it's another thing too. They told on themselves again. They keep talking about. See, this is a Republican state. Nevada's a Republican state, right? And he just said, these Republicans, both of them just said, the problem is these lax Republican laws. This is a Republican state, so I see exactly what they did. So they so what they'll do, a lot of times they plan these mass shootings in Republican states, and then they can blame the Republicans and blame the policies. That makes sense? This shit is damn, dude. That shit's like kind of like telling on yourself and shit. You know, we talking about mass shooter drill. What? Okay. So this is a drill.
That's a drill.
From incremental to the actual macro level.
That's a great point. Step by step.
If I may, Mike, I agree a lot with what you're saying. But I don't think at this point incremental is necessarily something that we should be aspiring to, considering this conversation really started in the 90s with Columbine. It's not a recent conversation. So what exactly is incremental if we've been facing this problem for the last 3 to 4 decades?
Well, in the last 3 to 4 decades, we've been saying comprehensive gun reform, but we're seeing this year we're at 627. The largest ever. So what we have been doing isn't working. So you can't keep doing the same thing without trying to find another alternative solution, because the macro level doesn't seem to be working as mass shootings are increasing at the highest levels that we've ever been. Michigan State students, you had students, Elizabeth, who said that they experienced a mass shooting in their high school and then also to experience it on their campus.
That word comprehensive, such a one that just speaks stalemate here in Washington a lot of the time. Guys, Mike, Barbara, Julian Elzy, thanks so much. Tonight, we've learned the identity of the third victim in this week's campus shooting at UNLV. The Clark County coroner confirmed 69-year-old associate professor Naoko Takemaro died from multiple gunshot wounds. 64-year-old professor Jerry Chang and 39-year-old assistant professor Patricia Navarro were also killed. We're also hearing for the first time 911 calls from the day of the shooting. This might be disturbing, but we want you to take a listen.
How long ago did you hear the shots?
They're happening right now.
How many shots have you heard?
Like 5. I'm hiding under my desk. I closed my door. It's locked.
Have you heard anything else before or after?
I heard them screaming.
Police say the gunman, 67-year-old Anthony Polito, mailed letters to nearly 24 university personnel across the country before the attack. They also say that he had a list of names of faculty members, both from UNLV and also East Carolina University, who they believe he was targeting. And earlier today, President Biden added a stop to UNLV during his already planned trip to Las Vegas. According to the White House, he met with the school's president and students to express his condolences and later spoke about the epidemic of gun violence in this country.
Folks, we got to get smart. There have been over 600 mass shootings in America this year alone, plus daily acts of gun violence that don't even make the national news. This is not normal, and we can never let it become normal.
NBC News correspondent Dana Griffin joins me now. Dana, you know, we play things like the 911 call. We ask questions about the suspect, their background, their motive, because we're trying to understand how this all happened and what, if anything, can be done to prevent it in the future.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, I want to ask you, what do we know about this suspect's background? How is the investigation into a possible motive going?
Yeah, Ellison, we've learned that Polito has worked as a professor up and down the Southeast. He's even touted his membership in the high society IQ group Mensa. And investigators say he was prone to posting conspiracy theories on his own website. Investigators have not identified a clear motive into the shooting, but we've learned that he has unsuccessfully sought employment at UNLV in 2020 and that he was also facing financial troubles, including an eviction notice that was posted on his front door when they served a search warrant. Ellison?
Dana, we also know the identity now of all 3 victims. There's another person who was also shot that was hospitalized. What can you tell us about the people who were killed on this campus?
Yeah, Ellison, we just heard moments ago from some of their colleagues during a press conference at UNLV. And I want to read some of the things that we learned about the professors. So 69-year-old associate professor of Japanese studies, Naoko Takemaru, was a professional concert pianist who brought homemade chocolates during the holidays and was a cat lover supreme. Her colleagues saying that although she was physically frail, she was lion-hearted. 64-year-old business professor Jerry Chang he deeply loved his students and UNLV so much that he decided to donate his body to research at the university. And they say his most profound impact was on junior faculty members that he would guide and support. We've also got 39-year-old assistant accounting professor Patricia Navarro. They say that she had a larger-than-life personality and a genuine kindness that made everyone feel like family. They say her most important work was at home with her husband and 4 children. Now, Ellison, that lone survivor has been identified as a 39-year-old who was visiting. We're told that person is in stable condition.
Dana, I know you have spent a lot of time speaking to students and people in the Las Vegas UNLV community. How are they doing? How are they processing what happened?
Oh, my God.
I think they are still trying to process it, just like you said. Even President Whitfield said that the emotions there are swinging like a pendulum. He says that they are planning to move forward with winter commencement. However, they have canceled finals for next week. He also praised the 2 detectives that stopped this shooting from moving forward. They have been identified as Detective Nathan Drum and Officer Damian Garcia. They have both been placed on administrative leave, pending an investigation that is very customary. But the president said that these officers are heroes. And he said, quote, "They kept the worst from becoming a bloodbath." So they are obviously sending their gratitude to these two officers as this community heals and tries to move forward.
Very interesting.
Man.
Yep. It's very interesting. All right, so I gotta play this and then I'll be done. Because the FDA just approved gene editing for sickle cell disease. That happened this morning.
Port Miami is the world's largest cruise port, and currently we're the 10th largest container port in.
iPhone 15 Pro, your husband deserves it.
Carolers, just tell me you want a new iPhone. A better plan is for.
All right, Shaq, you gonna love this.
Only on Verizon.
Well, in the afternoon's health alert, the FDA today approved 2 groundbreaking new treatments that can cure sickle cell disease. One of them is a new kind of treatment that uses a gene editing technique called CRISPR. But this treatment does come with a major catch. It requires months of preparation, a long stay in the hospital, and chemotherapy. An estimated 100,000 people nationwide have sickle cell, which is an inherited red blood cell disorder that disproportionately affects African Americans. Joining us now to talk much more about this breakthrough is Dr. Jeffrey Glassberg. He's the director of Mount Sinai Center for Sickle Cell Disease. Thanks so much for joining us, Dr. Glassberg. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so
I said that's nothing but a promotion for chemotherapy, dog. They need to get them chemotherapy numbers up.
That's right.
Now, I'm finna.
Now this is gene editing technology. Now they're using now. You know this got approved by the FDA. Gene editing.
Gene editing. Now my question is, how long have they been using this gene editing, and what are the side effects?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up because tomorrow, shout out to the brother Darren Muhammad from Baltimore. He's gonna have Dr. Scott Whitaker on there, and they've been talking about this CRISPR technology for a while. So tomorrow, listen to it because they've been talking about this CRISPR, but the FDA approved this technology. They've been had this technology of gene editing, but the FDA in the U.S. has approved this technology. They were already using this technology in Israel, man.
Look her, man. These people is performing genocide. What your boy said, genocide in our face, G. And they getting approved to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man.
Editing, gene editing. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, the FDA approving it, man. So, hey.
But they're not going to be held accountable for the side effects. That's the only thing I don't understand. When these people come up with, they allow people to come up with this stuff, they never want to be held accountable for the side effects. See? But they want to be champion for the so-called treatment, though. My question. There's the reward. Always.
You know what? They've been had this technology because a lot of us really do get sickle cell. They ain't even know cap. They didn't even know. Yes.
Black people get sick.
Yeah, black people, yeah. That's what
now look, now check this out. I'm reading the article right here on my phone. CRISPR technology for DNA editing might raise cancer risks. Israeli scientists warns. I already told you they're using this technology already. They just brought it today to here. They already had it. They're using it. Israel, man.
Dude, it's called chemical annihilation, G. I've been doing a series on my Instagram live about chemical annihilation, G. It's chemical annihilation, dog.
And see, yeah, you're right. Because look, they've been had the cure because they know a lot of us get it, right? So they've been had this. They've been had this for long, just like they had a cure for cancer. And all that. Come on, look. But see, if you give this, you come out with that cure, then that's going to bankrupt the pharmaceutical industry, and that's going to bankrupt.
Frank,
Right?
they done had this. Frank, I'm reading it right now. They done had this technology over 10 years, man.
Didn't I just say that?
You did.
Really wrote that.
And look at
But if
Prodigy.
you go back to what it says, it's a crystalline of the red blood cells. Now, initially, that crystalline, allegedly, it happened because that would be a what's the word I'm looking for? Um, a mutation. That would be a form of a mutation, right? Because allegedly that was some of our bodies developed a mutation to fight off the malaria virus or whatever, right? Is that true or false?
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm saying we need to get back to the minerals. See, they coming about this chemical stuff. I'm saying we need to get back to the minerals. And once you get done playing this, I want you to pull up again, because repetition, that's what they do. When you play this video, then go back and play. We're gonna look it up. We're gonna look up copper and the benefits of consuming and taking copper and what does it do. And then we should pull up a video, right, on YouTube or somebody else explaining how copper is one of the trace minerals that's good for the red blood cells. But you continue.
All right.
Till now, the only hope for a cure for sickle cell disease has been a bone marrow transplant. So this is a huge step forward. We're talking about survivability for the first time as it regards this. Talk to us a little about this new gene editing terms in layman terms. Obviously, it is a very, very complicated thing. How does this work?
Right. Yes, this is a big step forward for us. Until now, we could cure sickle cell disease, but you needed a bone marrow transplant, which is something that is available to very few people because you need a match. This is the first time that we're able to cure people with their own blood by taking their own blood and the cells that make blood out of their body and fixing it, and then giving it back to them so they can make their own blood, but without sickle cell disease. So there's two technologies being used here. The first was the CRISPR that we were talking about earlier. It's the first time that FDA has ever approved gene therapy using this technology, which is really an enzyme that goes in and makes a small cut in the DNA to do something to make the disease better. The other technology is called the lentivirus, which puts in a gene to fix the disease.
Well, hats off to the medical technology that was able to come up with this, the scientists, the biologists who were able to do this. This is not an easy fix, though. No price has been set for this treatment. It will likely be very expensive. Unclear at this point if it's covered by. And out of this for a minute, who do you think will be a good candidate for this treatment? Also, there are also very few medical centers in the country that can even provide the treatment, right?
There are a lot of challenges to come. We're happy that we made this step, but like you said, it will be extraordinarily expensive. We're not sure who and for how many the insurance companies will be willing to pay for it. And then there's the process. So this is not a simple thing to do for patients. There will only be a small number of centers across the country that can actually do it. And the process is very involved. So you have to we have to take the cells out of your body using a special procedure called apheresis that gets those cells that make blood into out of the body so that they can go to a manufacturing facility to get fixed. And then when the time is ready for the hospital,
I'm just saying straight up, any fool that's signing for this, you're a fool.
To the
You get
hospital
whatever you deserve.
and give you medicines to kill all
believe
the
this?
cells that remain in your body that make blood. So this is a month and a half long visit to the hospital where you're very sick and you're in a very fragile state. But it enables us to give back the cells that are your own cells where we've just fixed your own blood that does not have sickle cell disease. So one of the great parts about this is that everyone has a donor because everyone can take their own cells back. So it's very exciting, but there's a risk, and the risks are high with all this chemotherapy and poisoning that we have to do for the body. It's not going to be everyone that opts for this therapy.
But like you said, a very exciting, brand new, early stage of what we hope to be.
Now, wait a minute, man. Wait a minute. He said chemotherapy and poison. So he just basically told you chemotherapy can bother you. Did he just say that? Come on, man. God damn it.
This motherfucker said they pretty much gonna take your cells out, nigga, and take it to another facility, nigga. You just hear what he said?
Yeah. Hey, look,
Well,
man.
But just like how they were doing, it's kind of similar to what they're doing with the food. They're extracting the cells out and making the duplicate kind of food from the cells. These
Right,
motherfuckers,
and
bro.
then genetically, so you just just genetically modified. So they, boy, you get
Genetically modified medicine. Ooh.
Do they own you? Do they own you when they do that? Because I wouldn't think you own those stuff because now you have a technology inside. You don't just have an operation. You have a technology inside of you. So that technology is owned by somebody. See, they think they slick. They think they slick. But you're gonna have some goofy people that's desperate that's gonna sign up for it because hey, it is what it is.
That's a good point. These people, man, honestly, man, but the thing is, if this was being done to Creed people, if this type of stuff was being done to Creed people, then they'd be cry bloody murder and it'd be anti-Semitism. But since you do it to the rest of the, so-called American people, then it's okay.
But what are the studies saying that this was a success story? What are the success stories? Why they didn't bring? That's their marketing promotion. The person that was successful on, the people that were successful on, why they not on speaking? Huh?
Good point.
That would be your biggest.
He probably did,
man. Ain't no probably to it. Yeah. Yeah.
Now look.
Welcome. I'm Dr. Melina Roberts, and I want to talk about zinc and copper because I think this is really important to understand because right now a lot of people are taking high amounts of zinc, which can actually help to support our immune function. So this is a good thing. But when we take high amounts of zinc over a long period of time, what can happen is that zinc can start to deplete our copper stores because zinc actually competes for absorption with copper. And we really need both of these micronutrients in our diet. And with copper deficiencies, what we see neurological dysfunction. We can see muscle weakness. We can see things like anemia. So when we're taking high amounts of zinc, we really want to make sure that it's paired with copper. So either you want a supplement that has zinc and copper within it, or you want to make sure that you're also taking in foods that have high copper. And some of those foods that are high in copper will be nuts and seeds and green vegetables and shiitake mushrooms. And foods that are naturally high in zinc are meats, shellfish, eggs, nuts, seeds. So these would be foods that you could be incorporating to make sure that we have enough zinc and also have enough copper. So this is important for us to understand to make sure that we are not inadvertently causing a copper deficiency within the body. All right, so thank you so much for watching. I encourage you to share this with your friends and family, to press the like button, to press the subscribe button, to make a comment below, and until next time, continue to learn, grow, and build health. And I'll see you in the next video.
Now pull one up that specifically talks. Oh, they kicked him out. He got kicked out. They don't like that, Frank.
Damn, how they gonna kick the host out?
Ain't that something? I wanted him to pull a specific video that talked about copper and what
My
copper
bad.
does to the
My
body.
bad. Yeah, that's
It's
about
good.
copper, though, Shaq.
No, pull one up. You got to pull one up that specifically talks about what copper is and what it actually does.
Okay, I got you. Hold on for a minute.
Yeah.
I got knocked off.
The benefits of taking copper, consuming copper.
And you notice, look, I'm not trying to, I know this is your channel. I don't want to say too much, but they, when it comes down to certain so-called candy bars and all this and so-called, sicknesses, they wasn't saying nothing about none of this. See, that lets you know this is some evil people that we dealing with. It's the government and it's the pharmaceutical companies. They wasn't saying nothing about no damn copper. They wasn't saying nothing about no zinc, no spirulina, no sea moss, no, you know what I'm saying? Any other kind of algae, you feel me? Like, these people,
Surgery and treatments like that should be last resort. If need, last resort.
Right.
Exhausted. Right. Everything else been exhausted and tried.
You notice that was the first thing they was.
Doctors don't tell you about taking copper, consuming copper.
Right.
They barely tell you about zinc and magnesium. They don't even tell you the effects of magnesium.
Shaq, I'm gonna be antagonist here, okay?
Okay.
Because I found a video that talks about what can happen if you got copper deficiency. So let's go with the copper deficiency, and then we go to the benefits.
Right. All right. Mic check, mic check.
Actually, it's telling you the benefits actually on here. Actually,
oh no, it's not playing on this end. You didn't play it. It's not playing on this end. You didn't share it.
Oh. Oh. Hold on. That's right. Hold on. I got knocked off. Hold tight. I know what's up. I got you. I got it. I got it straight. I forgot I got knocked off. My bad.
Microelement which is needed for human. Copper found in foods including legumes, mushrooms, chocolate, nuts and seeds, and liver are high in copper. Copper is well absorbed in small intestines. Adequate copper intake permits normal utilization of dietary iron in that intestinal iron absorption, iron release from stores, e.g. in macrophages of liver and spleen, and iron incorporation into hemoglobin are copper-dependent processes. So copper is important for normal blood cell functioning. Adequate copper intake is important to prevent anemia. Copper also has other functions like assists in blood coagulation and blood pressure control, cross-linking of connective tissues in arteries, bones, and heart, defense against oxidative damage. Copper deficiency can cause osteoporosis, which can be treated copper supplements. But copper deficiency is rare. Copper requirement increases during pregnancy and lactation. Copper gluconate is the only copper supplement listed by the United States Pharmacopeal Convention for oral use. 10 milligrams. Cupric gluconate day, for 12 weeks is possible safe dosage. But intake for long periods, for adults have tolerated daily supplements of 3 to 7 milligrams. Copper toxicity is rather rare in humans and animals, because mammals have evolved precise homeostatic control of copper due to the high reactivity of the free metal. Copper is a microelement which is needed.
Actually, Shaq, that video told you a lot of the benefits and told you the deficiency. If you don't have copper, you can have osteoporosis. That was kind of interesting, actually. You really look at it. What do you think?
And you wonder why. Now I'm gonna tell you what's in your brain. What in your brain? Copper and carbon.
Well, you said the brain. You said the brain.
Yeah, go look up what's in the brain. Copper and carbon. Those are the main components in the brain. That
Why you
functions the
think?
brain.
Why you think they? Why do you think they keep talking about all the time? They want to reduce the carbon footprint. Well, guess what?
There you go.
Read the carbon they want to reduce.
There you go.
Now let's do this. All right, I got about 10 more minutes. 571-450-0773. Anybody want to call in? They can call in and speak. We've been going on for quite some time. Actually, I meant to do this earlier, but covered a lot of other stuff. I'm gonna cover this Starbucks boycott. Anybody call in, they can call in and speak, because this has actually been very entertaining. And like I said, but I always advise people, well, if you got sickle cell, do not let them fools trick you into doing nothing like this. This got to be one of the most diabolical plots I've ever heard in my damn life. I think it's crazy as hell to try to get somebody to do some shit like that. But hey, man. And guess what they said? They don't know if insurance will cover it. This got to be something for some people with money. Because
they said that.
Yep.
The reporter was saying.
Yep. Kind of crazy, man.
Doesn't that say a lot about this country? So only the rich can have the cures.
You ain't got the disease, but you expect a cure.
Right.
Remember, like Jimmy said back in the day, this song, Never Neverland. You ain't got the disease, but you expect a cure. Boy. Wow. Living some crazy stuff here. All right. So I look at it like this. Hey, man. Daggone, it's a new trick. It's a new trick they got. If you get in the ring, they're gonna let them take your cells out and put them back in. Got to be crazy.
Right. And what's the turnaround? What? See, I got questions because they really tell you the side effects you have. What is the turnaround for them taking your cells out, and what is your life expectancy for them to be able to get them cells back in time? See what I'm saying? That's too many questions I have. Because you got people got other they're not even calculating other pre-existing conditions people are in. So people are in kidney and liver failure already. And you talking about taking some cells out. Right. Let's use your common sense. You think that person gonna live? Really?
Well, okay.
Really?
Why did it take so long to come up with something, to combat sickle cell when it involves taking cells out? They couldn't come up with that 40 years ago when sickle cell was being died. Honestly, I'm starting to think, I mean, is there conspiracy with this disease? Because why only a lot of us get it, right? And why, they coming up in 2023, they coming up with a cure supposedly, right?
You know what Biden said they were gonna cure cancer too when he first got in office. They were gonna cure cancer, they were gonna cure AIDS. Well, I was like, how you gonna do that?
Because they already have the cure. Isn't Dr. Sebi dead?
They ain't finna do it the way he did it. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he did. Dick Gregory did. Dick Gregory did. Hey, man.
They lived. Dick Gregory was like 86. They lived a long life. They both lived long lives. See, what does that tell you, man? They was on to something,
Hold on 1 second. We got a call here.
Okay.
Hold on wrong with this damn phone? The phone acting crazy as hell. Can you hear me?
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I don't know what the heck going on the phone. Yeah, but hey, what's going on, Dawson?
Hey, what's going on, BJ? Everybody that's tuning in. Jack, Frank, how y'all doing?
Can you hear?
What up?
Right.
What up, P?
Peace.
Yeah. What you got?
I can hear.
Yeah. What you got? It's kind of interesting talking about this gene editing technology. This is crazy stuff the FDA done, huh?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you mean you're going to take my cells out of my body to make me more sick and ill than I was before? Saying I may not make it or I may make it. And you got to take my cells out of my body, bring them to a manufacturer. Is this a car, like a special German-made car that's getting fixed or something?
The new crush meal.
Hey, we GMO humans.
Want us to find a cure for people of all culture and color. I'll wait. Yeah.
What it's called?
Being guinea pig, okay? I worked at the county. That's all they did was guinea pig on people that look like us and Hispanic. I was in it, I know. I used to have to go to bed for my patients.
But let me.
I want to know how a lot of treatment and drugs get on the market. Look at some trials and what they do in these county hospitals, the free clinic.
Yeah, you're right, because when I was looking this up earlier, I had already known about it because they had been using it like in Israel. I told you Israel sounds already work, but this technology been out for a while. But it's like, so. But really, let's be honest. Let's be real. Forget all. I ain't even getting into all the fancy stuff. I can get to that later. Just to cut it short, they really just trying to make a GMO human. That's all they're doing. They're making a GMO human. That's all they're doing with your cells. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, well, that's what they doing with BioNTech. They trying to infuse the man. What's his name? DJ Noah Havari.
Yeah.
WEF and all that. He telling you that when they put them devices in you, they told you that. So they're proving a lot of this stuff to take you out. Well, think about it. The only way to keep they watch trends. Let me tell you how. If they don't keep enough people sick, then the insurance companies don't thrive, the hospitals don't thrive, right? The clinics don't thrive, and nothing like that.
Dirty
so they
game.
got to keep the system going, right?
Dirty game, baby. Dirty game.
Along with keeping you sick, suffering, and then eventually taking you out. We ain't gonna get into how some of these insurance companies don't approve certain things and tests and procedures. And next thing you know, we burying somebody 6 feet under when they could have lived. Oh, that's another topic.
No, stay right there, because I was just talking to a guy yesterday, and something happened with his insurance at the end of the year. They either dropping him or the premium going up. That's something about that. Now check this out.
And they can do that.
Yep, check this out. Because like they were just mentioning today now. They just mentioned this today or yesterday that they got 15 states with high respiratory cases going on. You know, that's the new game. You know, we got a lot of respiratory illness going on.
Here we go.
Okay, now I was outside today, maybe about 4:30, and I was driving. I said, "Damn, it's a chemtrail there." It almost looked like they were playing like lines in the sky on me or something like that. Now I'm sitting there thinking to myself, they've been saying ever since the Thanksgiving holiday, people been getting sick, right? They done released something out here.
Yes. Just like they did with COVID that time when they put out Omicron or something there, and everybody was sick during Thanksgiving then. Y'all remember that?
Yep.
Okay, it's the same game, same game, just a different play, right?
Oh, it's coming from China, by the way.
Oh, well, what's the news? And the guy on there saying, well, the people in China getting sick because they was locked down so long. No, sir. If that was the case, then the cases would have went up as soon as they came out.
Come on, man.
Not a year and months later, sir. Show me the science and the data on that. Which they never did for the devices that people got put in their body. I kept saying, where is the data? Where's the science? Where's the data?
Hey,
where are the side effects?
Hey, ain't gonna be no data on this CRISPR technology too. I said you and Shaq asked where the data, and I said the people they probably took the people's cells out. The people probably dead somewhere, man. Shit.
Shaq made a great point. Look, sound like another thing of Henrietta Lacks to me. Experiment.
That's a Henrietta Lacks experiment. Shaq, Frank, you got anything to answer? What you got, Frank?
Yeah.
What you got, Frank?
What the fuck?
What's going on? You on mute? You unmuted? Yeah, they messing.
This computer's tripping.
Oh, go ahead. Go talk about the mass shooting. Yeah, go ahead, because I wanted to talk about the mass shooting. I want to talk about Greenblatt with his lying ass.
Yes, we know it's our government who's doing this, right?
Yep.
I mean, come on, we kind of all on to this now.
You've seen us doing this, right?
So let me just
How's it
talk
doing?
about DJ. That's why I'm on policy, and I'm going to talk about my state that I love, Texas. Because as you get older, you start to appreciate kind of your freedom, especially when it's being under attack right now under this administration, even though a lot of these Christian Negroes went out to vote for this Democrat court. Okay. Even though we know what went on with the election, and I believe that's there. And that's me saying that YouTube, not King BJ. Anyway, but you notice it keeps happening in a lot of these red states. Like, okay, they went after Alan Jones for starting Hood, right?
Mm-hmm.
But not all he said is the government is start out because how it really happened, and you really look at it, you see it. And people so brainwashed, they want to say guns, guns, guns. And everybody can see a gun laying around, and that gun is useless unless somebody else pick it up and harm somebody with it.
LeBron James said daggone too many people are allowed to own a firearm in this country.
I would ask LeBron, so if somebody breaking your house, how you gonna protect your family?
Well.
But we know who own him. The small head real estate people. So anyway, he holding hands and all that. So we're not gonna even listen to him. But to my point, it's happening in all these real states. So maybe let the Kentucky, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky where it happened. Yeah, you notice it's happening in a lot of red states. Now, when your state and your policy makers know what's going on, you can affect policy that way. So I'm just talking about Texas. So remember the mass shooting that happened in Uvalde, right? Because we should have known it was coming to Texas. We was going to start getting hit. You know, they've been hitting Florida with the government hit Florida with all these shootings and all that. We knew it was going to come, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what they did, they passed legislation during this last legislative session this year, and they said every school campus has to have, officers or security guards around the school and in the front of the schools to prevent a lot of these school shootings. And they gave the schools a little extra money for it. They probably need a little more. But you're gonna again work with your local police department or hire officers at your school district to patrol and kind of mitigate some of that risk. So Texas jumped on the ball by putting that policy in place because they know the play. They know they're gonna try to keep coming after our weapons, so let's attack a red state that's against it. What else did Texas do? The legislative session, because every 2 years in 2021, they said you didn't even need a concealed handgun license to have a handgun. That's still different for felonies and people who got misdemeanors. But you don't even have to have it anymore. Now, I keep mine because I still want to go to training. I still want to pay my dues, right? Mm-hmm. So you got to understand with policy, some states are already ahead of the ball game. Now, we talk about chemtrails. So now, Texas, you can look it up, is now trying to ban chemtrails. Do you? I don't know if you ever know, whoever would watch the replay, y'all know when it's in the federal, it's the bill passed federally that chemtrails are okay. Mm-hmm. If they okay to spray us with chemtrails.
Yeah, like an insect.
Correct. So we been spraying. Come on now, BJ. You, me, we always on the phone talking about we see chemtrails in the sky. And they been spraying more than ever now. Y'all notice that since the pandemic? Mm-hmm. Since that damn pandemic, they used to only spray in the mornings, but man, they spraying at 7 in the morning, 11:30, in the afternoon. It's just
I see most of them for sunset.
Yeah, because that's when I be walking my dog. They started early in the morning. Think about it. That's when kids walk to school. That's when people getting up most, going to work or driving with their windows down. Think about it. It's a lot of movement in the morning time. But so that's what our state is doing that on the policy level. Now this BJ. So remember they were going after our Attorney General Ken Paxton.
Yep.
If everybody would look at his policy, what he's doing to protect Texas freedom and safety, so he's going at Pfizer now. This is the second lawsuit. The first lawsuit was, I think, let me try to remember before I forget. It was something dealing with Pfizer. I don't know, it was misrepresentation advertising. Anyway, but the second lawsuit with Pfizer he got going now is that they lied with their clinical trial studies and said that it was going to end the pandemic. Mm-hmm. So we got two, and our state also got rid of the CV19 device here. Look it up. It's law. It's policy. So our people do a lot better if we get out our emotion and focus on law and policy, because that affects your everyday life.
Well,
we don't know what things going on. That's why.
Well, let me say something about that before you go. Let me break this down. Well, you remember when the danger of they let you get alcohol, but they wouldn't let you go to church. But then they say you could go into church and get stabbed up and all that stuff. Remember that?
Correct.
Now the church is coming back open, some of them, by the way, but they're not getting the same traction. Matter of fact, a lot of them closed then, and a lot of them about to close now. They're trying to get. I'm telling you, the church is about to ask for a government bailout. I'm trying to tell you what's about to happen, because they're not gonna be able to get it from the parishioner. I'm trying to tell you. So that's gonna be another interesting thing.
What churches are they gonna bail out though? Because I bet you a lot of them in our community, they not gonna bail them out.
Oh no, they might.
Because they don't think about it. All of they members are in one foot in the grave and one foot out. Because younger people, we don't deal with the church.
Well, that's another good point. They're going somebody. Well, I tell you one thing. They're going. Well, they can't bring shopping around these parts. So many parts. I mean, I was thinking about too the other day, because they've been talking about the 2024 election. And I'm sitting there saying, and matter of fact, y'all got an election tomorrow too in Texas, don't it? With Steeler Jack tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow be the final day to vote. That's the regular voting day on the 9th. That's correct. Because early voting ran from, I think, the 28th through the 5th. And election day is actually the 9th. That's correct.
Okay. So we got to see how that goes.
Oh, with mine, he got it.
All right. Well, I'm sure there'll be allegations of racism.
Old head back. She needs to go home and retire.
Well, let's say this. If she's still a house rep, she just probably still her ass in their house. But here's my thing. She'll probably be bringing out allegations of daggone. She might even say the election was stolen if she don't win shit.
I can't say that in Texas. No, because how we vote now, and I know that's why I wanted to work an election. And that's what we need to. Sometimes you got to get on the inside to see how this done. You can't do that in Texas. So the machines that they use now, I'm trying to see. I can't remember the name. Anyway, they are like some old electronic machines. They ain't too old. But when you vote electronically, before you even vote, you have to feed the paper in the machine. When you cast your ballot after you vote electronically, that machine's going to print out that your ballot, paper ballot. And look, we don't even get to touch it. The people have to scan it in the scanner machine. And at the end of the day, the sheriff or constable, well, it's kind of already secured and locked up. They got to lock it up so you can't mess with the vote count. And let me tell you how Texas got it. Every time somebody votes, all that is registered. So if some missing ballots come up, you in trouble. So they tried to start cheating here in Houston and Harris County, which some of those officials got back in through doing theft, but the governor reappointed the two black ladies who was over before. So the Hispanics and the county commissioners voted, kicked them out illegal. So no, it's hard to do that now, BJ, here.
Well, that's good, because in Louisiana, they did say that there was a election that they overturned. Well, they said they got to do it again, because that was in Louisiana. They call Louisiana, not cities, they call them parishes. So that that was announced today too.
Oh, parish.
But that's very interesting. That's a lot of information, and just pointed out. I would tell my friends that want to send their children to these universities might have to start daggone running a campaign on the Anti-Defamation League and telling them, hey, look, y'all ain't you're using this power to keep on suspending students and all that stuff, the stuff you trying to do. You're getting some brutal tactics you got going on, especially with Mr. Jonathan Greenblatt, the CEO of Anti-Defamation.
That's going to lead to lawsuits, though, because you're suspending students because they don't agree with your ideology. Y'all want to talk about Hitler, and that's me saying is you too. Not him, but y'all doing his tactics. So was it really don't let me go down that road. Because they make up fake boogeymans all day, like they said Trump was the boogeyman. When Trump had money flowing through here, was getting our people, pardoning a lot of our people who were locked behind the bars, was doing prison reform, was cracking down on a lot of these illegal aliens who was working in these factories and getting us those jobs back. Everybody money was flowing, 401k, IRA, people starting businesses. We got more, at least we got some stimulus checks under him. This one here, the puppet, the place one.
Stimulus check. What's that? Stimulus check. What's that? That's a thing of the past, ain't it?
And y'all notice?
But it seems like everything that happened, they keep blaming Trump for. Oh, the gas high, that's Trump's fault. The food high, it's Trump's fault. Not even enough.
It's called cognitive dissonance.
But yeah, so how they gonna give them that money back, BJ? Back to the point. That's gonna be lawsuits because those parents need to be reimbursed. And that's not in the contract. Remember what Ye said? What did Ye say? Formerly known as Kanye West. What did he say? Is that in the contract?
No, it's not. But
Okay.
they using this morality clause thing. That's what they're trying to do. But I just got one more thing to say. When he made that comment I was playing earlier, talking about Hamas isn't your enemy and mine is all our enemy. Hey man, I don't give a damn about that daggone stuff. So daggone, don't include me. No, the hell you talking about, man? He's a clown, man. But yes, love. That's exactly right. Hey, yeah, Shaq. She broke it down though. I can't lie about that. So I'm gonna cover one more thing on this boycott of Starbucks, and then I'm gonna be out of here. But that was good information though.
Okay, BJ. I'll keep listening.
Yes, ma'am. Take your time.
All right, Charmaine. Peace.
All right, let me get this thing at Starbucks done because I want to show you they on the same tip.
Starbucks and the Starbucks Worker Union are involved in warring lawsuits over the union's post on X earlier this week that said solidarity with Palestine. The post was only up for about 40 minutes before it was deleted, but screenshots of it circulated across social media and people were calling for a boycott of Starbucks. Starbucks has since sued the union for copyright infringement, ordering it not to use its name or likeness in any of its marketing materials or across its social media. After the post, many social media users confused the union as being affiliated with Starbucks because 1, it used the name, and 2, its logo looks quite similar to the circular green and white logo that Starbucks has. Starbucks Workers United is not affiliated with the coffee house chain, but rather the Service Employees International United. It represents 9,000 baristas across 340 locations in the US. In response, the union countersued Starbucks for defamation, saying that the company suggested it promotes terrorism, hate, and violence in its recent statement. The National Labor Relations Board has already found 38 instances of unfair labor practices at Starbucks.
All right. That was Starbucks. Okay.
So they got some backlash too because they said they had to I stand with Palestine. Was that their website?
Yeah. Yep. That's right. Now, I'm not going to play this, but I will say this to you, that Walmart was the one of the first major corporate donors to say to Elon Musk, you support anti-Semitism and we're pulling our advertisements from you. So the big deal is now they're trying to get the big advertisers, Amazon, Walmart, etc., etc., to break bank and cancel X or leave X or whatever. Because Elon Musk said to the advertisers, you trying to blackmail money, go fuck yourself. So it's that. So it's called a takeover, as they can say. So I would just point that to you. Watch who you're talking to. Watch it, because people are really, really up in arms now. I've been seeing a lot of weird stuff, man. Like I told the guys, my buddy Jay was talking about it, man. My cousin, we were just talking about this thing. Is like people are so fickle right now, man. Like they don't like get it. I mean, like it's like COVID didn't work. Then they throw Ukraine out. Now Ukraine's they need 20,000 soldiers a month to keep the war going. Well, dang, is everybody dead? Right.
How would they know? How would they know those calculate? How would they know exact estimate? How would they know that?
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? Just like just the last story, right? We were talking about with the the last thing we were just talking about. You know, they keep talking about what was the last thing Charmaine was talking about? What was it? I forget. My bad. I got lost my train.
The thing with schools.
The very last thing we was talking about.
Oh, we were talking about the schools and dad goes.
No, we talking about Trump. Trump.
Look. How can you forget that?
You stupid. Oh, well, you stupid. But look, okay, look. The Trump thing, right? See, this don't make no sense. We was getting all these stimulus checks under Trump, right? It's funny because the inflation wasn't high like that. It's funny when the inflation actually gets high under Joe Biden, you don't get no stimulus check. What does that tell you? What that tell you? But guess what? Ukraine gets They getting the stimulus. Israel get the stimulus. We stimulating them, but it's not even stimulating. It's stimulating these politicians' wallets. It's still that's what it's doing.
How much was that stimulus check? $1 trillion. Now it was more. I think it was $6 trillion, something like that. But I gotta go back and look at it. But let me say something that she did bring up. That was, or was it $2 trillion? I can't even exactly remember, but it was a lot of money. And they're going to come and think about it. I'm glad she brought it up. And maybe I should do another show on that. That was a good point she brought up, because they told you that stimulus was $2 trillion or whatever trillion it was. I know it was $1 trillion. Now check this out. First of all, only group of people I know that they say are worth $1 trillion was the Rothschilds, man. Where you get this $1 trillion from? Number one. Number two. Ding, 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 ding. If you say $1 trillion, you only giving out. If we only got like 1,400 or whatever, if you a single person, you think you got 1,400. If you had kids, I think you got. So some people got as much as probably $6,000 or whatever. But I'm saying that was really a lot of companies. Now they got rich, but you know what they did? Those companies that got rich got massive overhead, and then they laid off their workers. That was wrong. And after that, the real estate market went up a lot, man. That was wrong by those companies. And those companies, even the Los Angeles Lakers tried to file for a small business. Oh, by the way, Dawson, Bronny James is talking about returning possibly tomorrow to play basketball after his heart condition. Forgot to mention that. But it is what it is. Shaq and Frank, people have heart attacks and just in heart conditions, cardiac arrest, and just come back around. It's almost like, oh man, that man they say died on the cross. He's just coming back. But they got more lives than it. They got 9 lives, 10 lives. Shoot. They got clones out here, man. Also, Dave Chappelle will be returning to Netflix on New Year's Eve with The Closer. So just look out for that. Just some little tidbits of information. But nevertheless, Shaq, you there? Shaq. The man might have fell asleep. It's okay. Yeah.
Nah, I'm chilling, dog.
And Brittany Griner got that documentary out, but I'm not even wasting my time even playing video on it. But Shaq, good you came on. I told you I didn't even know I was coming up, but I said last night, I told you I did it. I wasn't even on camera, man. I was sleeping, man. But I said, you know what? You got me a slight little rest today, but go ahead and share the information.
Oh yeah, y'all can tap in with me, man. Shaq_Edwards on Instagram and Shaq Edwards on Facebook. Get at me. I might go live tomorrow or something. I might go live this weekend probably on I might try my YouTube channel, man. Yeah, you know Victor.
Okay.
Yep, I saw him tonight. Yeah, he was on today. I saw him.
Okay, yeah. Shout out to Victor, yo.
Yeah, he had.
I might tap in with the YouTube stream or so, but the stream, I don't know. And then I probably just go live on Instagram.
That'll be dope, though, Shaq. That'll be dope.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, Frank, what's going on, man? There you go. Shout out to information, man. There you go.
I'm telling you about. Look, I told you a lot of this stuff. Man, this shit it's not what it seems, man. A lot of this stuff is scripted, it's staged. It's all for show. You know what I mean? It's to really just that too. But it's really, see, the thing is like the gun law, like the gun thing. That really is the mass shootings is really just to get some kind of gun laws. And It's like how you said with the Creed people and stuff like that. They're gonna get some kind of legislation going on soon. I mean, and I mean, at this point, if people don't see this by now, man, then you're gonna keep falling for the okie doke.
Oh, let me tell you something. What about the white shooting? Them dudes never get shot and killed. You know what I mean? Them white dudes, they in jail right now, or they fake in jail right now.
That's what I be saying. They be fake. You know what I mean? Exactly.
But we don't hear nothing about them no more.
Because and then there'll be another one right after that. You know what I mean? That's a good point.
That's fair. There's gonna be some kind of violence before 2024.
Okay. I can see that.
White violence.
Yo, that's real. But it's okay. So y'all can find me on either Frank Jones 8115 on Instagram or XX Frank Nitty XX on Instagram, and also XX Frank Nitty XX on YouTube. I might do a little show tomorrow, man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I get off early tomorrow, so I'm gonna have to do something tomorrow. We have to tap in, man.
Yeah, Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Pleasure, man. Pleasure for being on this bad boy.
Good hearing y'all.
Oh yeah, man, no doubt, man. Thanks for listening, man. So like I said, look, man, this has been very entertaining. People just gotta realize, hey, man, we are like on the attack, and do not think. Look, don't let them fool you. Yeah, I know people out here shopping and doing all this Christmas shopping or whatever they're doing. Hustle and bustle some places. Like I said, more people buying stuff online, but people are really fickle right now, man. I'm riding down the street there. I'm looking at Frank. I'm just trying to ask this question. Matter of fact, Shaq, I asked Miss Latin this question today. As bad as the economy is right now, why would you have your house lit up with Christmas lights already? Daggone way. Daggone, I know the election bill will be high at the end of the year.
That's a good point. Why would you even?
Come on, man. Just saying,
man. And you notice the electric companies aren't sending you any kind of, try to reserve electricity. They ain't trying to send you none of that because they want your bill to be high like that.
Hey, man, I got a space heater sitting right beside my feet. I'm looking right at it, man. Right here. Hey, look, I don't even cut the heat on all the time here, man. If it ain't like 10 degrees outside, if it ain't freezing, I ain't gonna even cut it on.
It's been sounding. They're trying to get that energy. You know what I'm saying?
Right, true.
Okay. Also, let me break something down. I'm glad he said energy. They're trying to make cars all extra 2035. Actually, Stenellis, after that big strike they had, they announced they're laying off workers. I think it's coming in January, February. So a bunch of layoffs coming. Spotify, put away a lot of companies starting to lay off. Right? Spotify, it's about Spotify laying off 1,500 by January, and they're gonna lay off another 500 or 600 in June. So it's got a lot of companies just moving parts around.
Spotify?
Yeah, Spotify, man.
Yeah.
What about YouTube?
They probably laying off too. Shoot. Hey, look, daggone the information retelling. They want to cancel me right now. Look, every time I look up, I got 2 strikes. They never give me a third one though. But I'm gonna say this. One day I got an email, like a Gmail thing, and it said
Gmail.
Yeah, you got 482 or 404. I forgot it was 482 or 402 new subscribers. But they keep saying, but they saying I only got 903. But they said 402 new subscribers. That means they keeping my daggone subscriber count down because they don't want you to know.
And they're shadow banning.
Yeah.
But you know what? One thing, they don't do that to the white YouTubers like that, man. That's real. I noticed that.
And Russell Brand is back on, man, because I was watching video.
That was quick.
I mean, that's either here or there, but
you gotta look at it like this before you go. These are celebrities. You gotta watch when these celebrities get banned or get somebody go, or Joe Rogan. These people are connected. They're already with Hollywood. You know how many movies Russell Brand is? He's actually an actor. You gotta be careful. You don't know when he go off script and when he don't. He could still be. That could still all be an act. You see, that's what I'm. You know what I'm saying? That's the character. You know what I mean?
You're right, man. You're right. Well, Hey, look, man. Well, this ain't in living color, but you can get me at Bernard Johnson Facebook. You reach me at what is it, 1987 BJ1 Twitter. Matter of fact, I get some interesting articles of X actually since Elon Musk been over there. So if you own X or Twitter, make sure you get you subscribe to that Died Sunday. It's very interesting. Follow them actually. Good page. Dr. Cynthia
Hey,
McKinney.
hey, but look, you got an X account? You got a Twitter account?
Yeah.
Hey, Frank, you got
That's why I get some articles I'm sending you.
Nah, but I heard Twitter they be going up on that shit though.
I don't pay.
Motherfuckers used to get beat up and jumped and all that over Twitter. Yeah, that's burn.
No, I'm saying they got the Twitter space. You ever try the Twitter space? You can do the same thing. Go into a little room.
Oh yeah, you can't do Twitter space.
I think
I don't trust it.
the blacks, we need like some kind of role model, like another entity, like a president, somebody to run. Like
I just told you that was Barack Obama already, bro.
And I think it's somebody that we know that is holding it down in Hollywood. Or he had mad, success. Denzel Washington.
Oh shit.
Denzel Washington. All them niggas are costed by Jews, man. All them niggas is man, come on, man. I get you.
Yeah, that's all good, Rabbi. But look, let me break this down. So yeah,
Y'all don't think he can pull it off or what? I don't know. He always got
no.
Denzel?
King BJ. No.
Man.
Did he say he was running? If The Rock running, so what the hell? But or say he gonna run. Whatever.
Right.
Oh, The Rock say he run.
Hey, look, man.
Oh no.
Hey, Jadakiss said, "Wow, why they let the Terminator win the election?"
Hey, look, let me say one last thing. Shout out to Miss Dawson. Me and her talking about Gayle King and Charles Barkley new show because it has been a flop like a pancake.
Yeah, who's gonna watch that? Like some Martha Stewart, Snoop Dogg type shit.
Yeah.
Worse than that.
I mean, hey.
Worse than that. Yeah.
Ebony and Ivory, you know what I'm saying?
Snoopy.
With all that
Snoopy
being
lying,
said, I'm gonna go ahead and break man. What's your name, man? I didn't get your name.
Bonchi.
That's my uncle.
Okay. All right, well.
New York in the building. You know what I'm saying?
We just make sure that daggone you keep it cool, man. We got a lot. It's silent weapons for silent wars. We got a lot of wars we fighting. I would say be very careful in this time who you around. Like because they can pull off a January 6th BS at any time in any city right now.
True.
That's real tough.
That's true.
Feds are around and they watching hard. Mass surveillance. Everywhere I look around, and I go riding around Richmond, Virginia, and Chesterfield. I see cameras put in the face. I said, damn, there's a camera here? God damn.
Yeah, it's cameras.
Matter of fact, they gave me a daggone a toll violation for something that happened on June 29th and just sent it to me. I said, what the hell? That was 6 months ago.
You motherfuckers. And then the tolls, look, they're doing the toll out here, the toll roads and stuff like that. See, that's another, like I was saying, Shaq.
You gotta read the tolls. You can't go
let me break it down. Shaq. These motherfuckers, this is another thing, these people are supposed to be part of the municipalities, you know what I'm saying, hired private, you know what I'm saying, entities, like the toll road people, which I think, doesn't China own that shit? You know what I mean? And these private companies like to put boots on your cars. See, what kind of shit is this? You know what I'm saying? Why are we even paying these taxes then? You see what I'm saying? I know why we're really paying taxes, you know what I'm saying?
Because they say so, goddamn, that's right.
But at the same time, look, see, that's what I'm talking about. So they're paying this private entity, this company called the toll roads people, to give you tickets. These motherfuckers is crazy, dude. That shit ain't much. All this foreign interest, right? Foreign interest.
Foreign interest,
brother.
Mm.
Hey, look, man, just be careful. I'll be back on a couple of days. Got some more stuff to break down. You know, by the time I come back on, Frank, you know, another psyop will happen. So
I might go live on my Instagram tonight, nigga. Get some jabs off.
But I know one thing, Frank. I know it's 10 o'clock over there. It's 1 o'clock over here. And it's 12 o'clock over there.
West? Yeah, we in the West.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's still young for y'all. The night is still young for y'all.
Hey.
Yeah, it's 12:01 now.
It's 1:01 here. But y'all take y'all time. Have a good night.
Good night, man.
Peace. Salute.